So here we are doing another batch of kombucha. We got just enough starter in there. We got multiple scobies. They just grow like crazy because they're super healthy. Because we use all organic sugar, all organic black tea.
Alright, switch them out.
Never into any antibacterial soap or any kind of anti-kombucha or antibacteria, because this is all living bacteria. That's why as soon as you drink it, you immediately feel alive. Your body responds and says, hey, this is life. We're used to getting fed death. This is life. Give us more. So you end up with about a 10, 11 gallon brew here. And we got one more right here. We're going to see if we can start another one, if we have enough tea left.
Oh, that's gonna be flipped over.
The SCOBY flipped. Yeah, it's probably okay. We can maybe make the water flip it again. And another thing also about when you're brewing it down, you don't really want to take it past the spigot, because the SCOBY will actually, one of the lips of the SCOBY edges will get caught in that part that sticks in right there. And then when you're filling it, it'll cause the SCOBY to just get stuck. And then it'll flip like that. Look at that SCOBY though. Oh my goodness, that thing is very healthy. But anyway, so it'll cause it to get stuck down there and it'll flip, and if it does stay stuck, then you got to reach down in there to unstick it or find another thing to do that, and that just causes more opportunity for problems. So it's better just to know what not to do so that you don't find out the hard way, because it sucks to lose a batch of SCOBY, which I never have, because I kind of just use a little bit of common sense with everything I do. Instead of just doing it, kind of think about it in a natural way. And then you really don't have to worry about it. So let's see, we got half of them filled, about half left. That's pretty sweet. And the way to do that is to brew about, for every 1 gallon, you need 8 tea bags and 1 cup of sugar. So I brew 2 gallons at once. Put all the tea bags in there, let it brew. And you don't want to boil. You want to boil and then let it cool for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then put your tea bags in, so they have more of a steeping effect. If you boil them, it'll boil off the phytonutrients, and you don't want that. So anyway, I just brew about 2 gallons, and then add that, after that kind of gets all mixed up, you add your sugar, you mix all that up, and then you just add it to the rest of your 5 gallon. And then boom, you just made 5 gallons of tea. You just brew 2 gallons, 1.5, 2 gallons, make your concentrate, and then you just add that concentrate back to your water, which you just leave in the 5. That way you don't have to go back and forth with a bunch of different containers, mixing and everything. You just want your total tea that you're brewing. If you're brewing 5 gallons, you know the math for your sugar to tea ratio, and then you just keep all the water the same. Just fill up your container when you're boiling, the thing you're boiling in, fill that up as much as you can, boil in there, and then just add it back to what's left over out of the 5 gallon. And therefore you don't have to do any math, you don't have to figure out, because you just dilute. That's all you do. That's all they do in the big companies. They just make a concentration of their tea, and then they dilute with just water, pure water. Of course, they're not using spring water. They're using chlorine water, tap water, I'm sure, which chlorine just kills microbacteria, but it also kills the antioxidants and the phytonutrients in the tea also. So, it's kind of counterproductive the way they do it. But kombucha, brewing kombucha, teaches you what not to do. Because if you do those things, it'll kill your kombucha. So it's nice to kind of learn in a roundabout way about how to do things. And come to find out, it's just common sense. When you use stuff touched by man, they add a bunch of chemicals into it and all kinds of other stuff that kills life. They're life killers. This here is life promotion.
That much
Ooh.
left to start the next one.
That much left. What up, Charles?
What up?
So we got them all filled here. Yeah, we probably can do this. So here's how we're going to do it. So we got that.
Fill it up part way with some
Well, we're going to need starter. And since we filled them all up, we no longer technically have starter in any of these. All the starter has been mixed in with the new brew. So we're going to have to take some of this, which was taken off. This is technically all starter because this was our brew from the last cycle, which was about a 3.5 week brew. So it's very strong. So technically it is starter. So really we just need to pour one of these back into the jar and then put our SCOBY.
I think that clear one had a little bit of the solid in it.
This one here?
Yeah, down the bottom.
Oh,
there.
it sure does, yeah. This would be a really good starter because it just has tons of living bacteria and enzymes in there. I mean, this, you would want to dilute that down. I mean, I drink it straight, but if you're introducing somebody to kombucha, I'd mix it with some pomegranate juice or something just to give it a little bit of...
So fill it up above the spigot, or it doesn't matter.
Oh, don't put that in just yet, I don't think. Well, yeah, you can. You might... Well, no, because I want to see how much gets in here, because technically you need about 1 inch or 2 of starter, especially if you're using a skinny SCOBY. If you're going to use a big old monster SCOBY and split that into... Then there we go, that's perfect. But the smaller the SCOBY, the more starter you need to ensure that it starts to do what it does. Pretty much perfect, dude. That is 100% perfection.
Was that measured before?
It was not measured.
Did somebody measure all this?
Nothing was measured. Nothing was measured. Everything was just done in synchronicity with common sense and life promotion. Anytime you do something that promotes life, especially when you're doing it to help others, the universe just backs you up with all of its intention, and you don't have to worry about figuring out and dialing down and dialing in and trying to fine-tune exactly what you want to happen, because it's just gonna happen, because all good intention is fluid. It flows. And then we just stand here and look at the results of it like, yep, that was a definite flow. So now we've got, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gallons going now, which I think is the perfect ratio, because as you see, a 5 gallon will replenish all after you drain. So you're probably draining what, 5 gallons each time, or 2.5 gallons? Well, no, I mean, yeah, 5 gallons each time.
Right, because you're replacing it with 5 gallons.
Yeah, exactly. So
5 gallons out, 5 gallons in.
Yep, every round. Every 7 to 14 days, I like a 14-day run. I like a 20-day run. It's kind of chilly down here because it's a basement, so it takes a little bit longer to brew. So a lot of times I'll have 24, 28-day runs that taste like a it's just, so technically this is a cold brew process. Cold brews take longer, but they're just higher quality, in my opinion. So that's why this kombucha tastes the way that it does, and that's why these SCOBYs are so healthy also, is because it's a cold brew, so it's a slightly slower process, but it doesn't heat it up to the point in which bad stuff starts happening. You know, that's kind of why you'll see a lot of people doing cold brews, and, you know, ice house is a cold. The colder you can brew something, the cleaner it will be, as long as you can maintain the fermentation process, which is definitely happening here. So we're good to go. Looks pretty good. Kombucha 101, people. You should start doing it. It's the easiest thing ever. So, see ya.